All right, we turn now back to Charlottesville, where tonight a memorial is growing for the victims of that deadly mass shooting on campus of the University of Virginia. Students earlier today dropping off flowers, candles, handwritten signs as they grieve the loss of their fellow students. We want to go back now live out to Charlottesville, where WFXR's Kathleen Stone joins us now live once again to continue our team coverage. Kathleen, I imagine that memorial only going to keep growing tonight.
Oh yes, more and more students continue to stop by to lay down flowers or to lay down cards. I mean, the community here is really still coming to grips with what happened. It hasn't even been 24 hours since that deadly shooting took place right here on the University of Virginia campus. We want to bring in WFXR's Rian Lowndes tonight because Rian has been speaking with students. Rian, you spoke with students here at the vigil, but you also stopped by kind of that memorial service and that vigil service, if you will, that happened over on the lawn. I saw the photos. It was so massive.
It was like an ocean, Kathleen. I mean, there were people there who were crying, people who were praying, and it was nearly silent. But then there was this one moment where the whole community there came together in the middle of the lawn, and they raised their lights up in the air. There was candle lights, phone lights, raising lights to honor their fallen students. And it was really a touching tribute from the college community that knows these students so well.
Even though an hour only went by, it honestly felt like 5 hours. I was doing everything I could to reach out to them, like texting, calling.
Adrian Moore is an RA at UVA who is trying to contact more than 20 of his residents Sunday night as campus fell into lockdown. They were all safe, but today, walking campus with his parents, he says it's frustrating, trying to balance grief with studies.
School is important, but in moments like this, different priorities have to come first.
Julie and Stevie Moore came from Stafford to see him, just to put their hands on their son, they say, and know he was okay.
It's
panic sets in every time.
Yeah, the panic sets in every time. You get a call at 1 in the morning, it's almost, your heart is throbbing.
But they're also providing support for their son, who lost a classmate. Adrian shared an art class with Deshaun Perry, one of the students killed at UVA.
If I feel this much pain thinking about that, I can only think about the same thing being applied to his family.
He says he only spoke with Deshaun a few times, once with feedback on a class project. The theme, loss, and Deshaun Perry's topic, gun violence.
How that must have meant to him and what that meant to him. And the last thing I said to Deshaun, I told Deshaun that if he were to do audio for the project, an idea to consider maybe using different voices to tell the same story. And the reasoning behind my advice, as I told Deshaun and the rest of the class, was that after people pass, you forget what they sound like.
I mean, it's a really sad story. And, Moore described Deshaun Perry as a sweet, approachable, and authentic person. And he says he hopes he'll be remembered that way, too.
You hear about that project he was working. I mean, it almost makes your heart stop. And that story you just told, that's one of many. That's just one student of the thousands of students who are mourning here tonight.
I think the father used the word heart-throbbing, and I think that's such a touching phrase to use at this time.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. It definitely is. Now, reaction and support continue to pour in tonight. Even President Biden, as I mentioned earlier, came out with a statement sending condolences to the University of Virginia. We want to take a look at the statement from him and the First Lady.